Every generation or two, a product comes along that is truly revolutionary. Well, meet the revolution in duck and goose calls. The ball-shaped designed insert makes these calls feel and sound like no other. These ain't your grandpa's calls, or even like your dad's calls. These are real calls.
Real calls have balls. Some guys have them, some guys don't.
Which one are you?
Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Riley Hendrickson. Let's just go right into it. Here we go with the intro. Music. This is Rilo's Quack Chat. As a call maker, I enjoy talking shop with other duck call makers. On this podcast, it's all about duck calls and duck hunting. From the marsh to the duck call shop, we're going to find the story behind the duck calls and the people that make them. This is Rilo's Quack Chat. Hey everybody, this is Riley Hendrickson with Rilo's Quack Chat, a podcast about duck calls, the story behind the duck calls, duck hunting, everything outdoors. I am excited. This has been a couple of weeks in the making, behind the scenes. Everyone, it looks like the connection's jumping in and out, but now we're back. So man, let's just dive right into it, man. Usually we'll just dive right into you and real calls and all that good stuff. I've seen your calls around. Let's talk about how you got into duck hunting, and then we'll come to your duck calls.
Sure. Actually, never hunted, didn't have hunters in my family, other than my grandpa, and he passed away when I was 5, so that didn't really count. I moved to Southern Illinois in 2001, and I had a couple guys that I worked with that they said, hey, you want to go hunting? And I'm like, basically anything hunting related, going out and watching the ducks just going everywhere. And then when the day broke, sun's coming up, it just ducks everywhere, and I was just captivated. So that's basically started my passion for water hunting and real quickly into duck call making.
Wow. So what was the first duck call you had in your hands?
The first duck call that I ever put in my hands was I think it was a Buck Gardner double nasty or something like that.
Oh yeah.
It's been forever ago.
Oh yeah. So you started with the double reed.
Yeah. I didn't know anything about duck hunting. I couldn't have told you the difference between a polycarb and a wood and acrylic, and I had no knowledge.
Wow. So if you don't mind me asking, you went waterfowl hunting, and then the day after you started trying to
when I got home, I ordered a lathe.
How long? What was your first jig you bought?
Actually, I didn't buy a jig for a long time because I didn't know. There was a guy down the street, not too far from me, that was a supposed duck call maker, but he was a barrel stuffer, and I didn't know the difference between a barrel stuffer and a real call maker.
Mm-hmm.
So I started buying inserts from him, and I can't remember if they were Buck Gardner inserts or Echo inserts, but that's what I started doing. Every time I'd make a call, I'd give it to somebody to buy one, and they'd say, well, whose insert is that? Or, it was basically one of those, they wanted to know if I made it or whose it was. And I'm like, well, I bought it because I literally did not know.
Right.
So, I got tired of people asking me whose insert it was. And then I started designing inserts and started making them from there. I do have an old jig that I used for a long time. Couldn't tell you where it came from, who made it, nothing.
Wow. So you just got your hands on an old jig somewhere?
I found one somewhere. Somebody had it, and that's what I started using.
That's crazy.
So then it was. I didn't know what it was. Didn't know where to get one. Didn't know where to buy one. Never, until I seen that one, I didn't even know they existed.
Yeah, isn't it funny? Someone asked me, I think it was a couple months ago. They're like, "Show me one of your early jigs," and I held up my my drill press vise. It's like
Yeah.
you can buy
Yeah.
jigs at Harbor Freight all day long.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah. I was completely out of the loop on any of that. Like I said, my knowledge of hunting was basically one day.
yeah, yeah.
So
So, and what year would that have been?
that's 2003.
Wow, wow.
So I literally got the lathe in a few days later, put it up on my kitchen table because at that time I didn't have a shed or a garage or anything to put it in. I just moved down to Southern Illinois and just never had a time to build anything. So I threw it on the kitchen table and started throwing wood chips everywhere.
Mm. Hold on a second. Um, that's awesome. That is awesome. Well, why are you? Yeah, it says it's live right now. Yeah, someone was messaging me. If anyone's watching this live, please comment below. Let me know you're watching live because this thing keeps dropping out and all this good stuff. Everyone, actually, there's 2 comments, but I can't see them. Where are you? That's weird. Anyway, sorry about that, Donald. But so you started at 2003. When did the ball call? When did that come out?
I started working on that probably about 5 years after I started. A long time of learning to turn. I was turning acrylic on the lathe, which is back then was I didn't know anything about it, so I was basically learning how to explode stuff and what worked and what didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it was probably 2008 when I really started doing my design stuff, and then I couldn't come up with anything that was different. And I back then there wasn't that many call makers, so I just knew that what was out there, I wasn't comfortable with it. It just didn't fit in my hand.
Right.
So that's why I started designing. I literally designed inserts for a year and a half, very consistently. And I basically went, okay, that's it. I'm done. I just can't keep wasting my time doing this. And literally the second I said I quit is when I had the idea for the ball. So I did a prototype, put it in my hand, and said, that's exactly what I want. I talked to a few of my buddies and some of the hunt guys that took me hunting. They were like, dude, this is so different and so unique that you need to get a patent, because if you don't, in a week or 2 weeks, everybody and their mother's going to have this insert in their call, and then you're going to have to fight to prove that it was yours.
Right.
So I filed for the patent and got the patent, and then we announced the insert was coming, and the rest is history.
That's awesome. Anyone watching, please leave a comment. Let me know that you can actually hear the live stream. It's kind of acting wacky. That is awesome. That is awesome. And I mean, you're probably one of the only custom call guys that I've talked to that has patents. I mean, and what's so funny is you've always, like, whenever people refer to you, they refer to you as the patent call guy.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you're known by. And it's like, for better or for worse, and it's like, and people don't even necessarily know you, but they refer to you as the patent call guy. So it's and it's one of those situations where it's, I looked into it a couple times for some things I developed, and it was like, do you really patent it? Because, I mean, then you come up with the issue of, okay, that group in China, they're going to be, they've literally got a group of people sitting in front of screens and waiting for patent pendings to show up. And literally they get to see all the CAD data. They can literally copy all that CAD data and put it in the CNC and press start.
Yeah. It's crazy. I think all that's kind of coming to a head now. I think that they're not going to be able to do what they've been doing. So, but yeah, it's always that chance. I mean, heck, I've had several people try to duplicate it in the United States, so that doesn't work out very well. But
Yeah. Yeah, it's just one of those situations. I mean, for years they were doing the Chinese thing, and then they now what you can do as an American, you can literally hire China to do the parts. Then they send it to a warehouse in Mexico. They put everything together, and then they ship it up to like Atlanta, Georgia,
yeah,
and then
well,
that's shipped to
and
wherever.
you could still go after the people that are selling the unit.
Hey,
So it just depends on if you're wanting to waste your time going to federal court, which
yeah.
is not going to be cheap or fun.
Yeah. Hey Joe,
So
Joe Butcher, can you hear us? Please tell me a yes or no. Anyway, yeah, it's just a headache right now, and love him or hate him, Trump was trying to get this whole situation with China. That was one of the things, was he was wanting to get to where we can take them to court over patents, because they're
yeah,
literally just stealing from us. You look up, you
yes,
can get on Alibaba and you can look up, if just type in duck call, and you can buy a replica Fox duck call for like
wow,
a dollar.
nice,
Yeah, and the Fox company could die anytime. Like,
yeah,
there are only so many people keeping it around. And what's his name, Dudley or something? I forget what his name is. He's the only guy working at Fox right now, older gentleman.
yeah.
But our country has to take care of this situation sooner or later, or we're going to have some serious issues.
Oh yeah, well it's almost been too far anyway. I mean it's been years and years and years since any of this has been addressed, and I think it's finally turning the corner.
Yeah. Hey, Rob Pressman, how's it going? Yeah, yeah, and I'll tell you what, you patent the design of the ball call, and you sent me one, and I'll get it out here in a second. I'm going to be sending it back, or if anyone wants to get a hold of Donald and buy it, I'll literally just ship it to your house. So, but man, like, can you remember the aha moment when you were like, man, this insert feels great in the hands, and all that good stuff?
Oh yeah, well that was part of it. Is I doing design work, and like I said, I've designed 1,000 inserts, and it's literally tough to do what hasn't been done.
Yeah.
So like I said, the second that I decided that I was going to quit designing is when I actually got the idea. And I kind of had a pretty good idea, but then when I put the prototype in my hand, I was like, holy cow, that's it. I mean, I knew it wasn't traditional. I wasn't worried about tradition. I just wanted to have something that is very comfortable in my hand.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, your background as a jeweler really shines through, especially with your acrylic calls. Daggum. Like the
Yeah,
finish.
yeah.
I'll pull this call out here in a second. But no, the finish is just unbelievable. Look at that.
Yeah,
Look at that band.
I go a little above and beyond what normal people do. And that's fine. I mean, that's you do what you want to do. I don't do stuff because other people are doing it. I do it because I want to do it.
Right. Right. And what is that Deadshot that call's made out of?
Yes, yeah, that's Deadshot. That the one that I sent you is, yes.
So tell me about your bands. Like, it has the duck, it has the dog, the guy with the gun. I love that band.
Yeah, I got a bunch of different designs that I've done over the years, and a lot of custom stuff. I've made bands for R&T. I've made bands for Tim Grounds. I've done hundreds of different call makers. So, and I've sold just I don't know how many thousands of bands over the years. So,
Yeah, it's fan. So you have sold bands to R&T?
oh yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. Look at that. Can you guys see that? That is fantastic. So do you sell bands as well?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I sell bands. I've been selling bands. Like I said, when I first started, there wasn't a whole lot of options. So I got some brass pipe, and I was cutting bands for a while, and then I went to nickel plated stuff, and I did not. I've never put an aluminum call or aluminum band on any of my calls. I'm not an aluminum guy. I don't like anodized. So it took me a while to put my jewelry skills together and the call bands together, and I don't know why it took me so long, but it took a while. But then once I started doing it, I'm like, yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah, and one thing we've talked about this, Donald, is I'm a tone guy. You're a looks guy. Like, I think that's why we can have a good conversation is because and I think our first conversation is I called you up. I was like, what do you mean by this? And
you didn't call me up. You called me out.
Did we want to go there? Okay. So since we're going this way, let's just do it. So you have always been referred to me as the a-hole with the patent. And
yes,
so
that's me.
I saw I saw your some stuff. I thought you meant the species of wood, like in tone.
Yes,
and you were talking about the looks. So I called you, so I said something, you sent me your phone number, and it's like, that is an invitation for me. I will always call someone up. I called you up.
Yeah.
And we said a couple things. I said, I heard you were an a-hole. And then, I don't know, I think we just understood each other after that. But, you know
what they always say? Takes one to know.
But, no, but you're funny. But, I was like, this dude isn't that. Like, what's going on here? And so I was just very curious. I'm like, what are, if, it's like that old study with the chimpanzees they have, where the person has the bunch of bananas, and every time the chimpanzees climb up the ladder to grab the bananas, they get sprayed by water. Well, after so many generations of people, the chimpanzees would just pull each other down, and they wouldn't even, none of them even knew why. None of them tried to get the thing of bananas. And it's like, dude, what are people saying? Like, okay. And so you sent me your call for me to try because, the round bottom, I mean, you were trying to tell, and of course looks, right? Looks. And you were telling me about it, and I was like, dude, I don't care what looks, I don't care. That's not my thing. Like, give me a piece of turn 2x4 and I will be happy. Like, I don't care. Yeah. And man, I blew on this call, and as soon as I was done, I was like, top 5. Top 5. Like, why have I not heard about the tone of your calls is unbelievable. And they just blew my mind. And I'm not the best caller by everyone. I'll give it a couple toots on it. I'll give it a quack, a hail, and then I'll squeak on a little bit. This is what I'll do. Here we go. It's so loud. Like, as soon as I just the air, just how easy it blows, oh my goodness gracious. And everyone, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, just fit, finish, and sound. I mean, it's up there, and I'm not trying to brag, but I've spent years and years and years getting there. I didn't start there. So, I mean, like I said, I knew nothing. I didn't have any help. I didn't have Facebook to get a bunch of people and go, hey, this is what I'm doing. How do I do it? Yeah. No, it was me doing it.
Everyone watching, this is, so I'm going to be sending this back to Don in the next, probably by Monday. So if you want to snag it, get a hold of him, and we'll just send it your way. So... thanks for sending that to me so I could kind of get an idea of the calls.
Well, it's one of those where, I mean, people look at it and they don't understand. But when you put it in your hand, it's a different ball game. And I knew that you couldn't do the podcast like you would want to do without having one of those in your hand.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Like, I'm sending it back to you, or someone else is going to buy it, and anyone that buys it, I will take alcohol to it and get the slobber off. But that's the thing, right? Like, if you were to give me the call, then I couldn't give a fair review, and people will be like, "Well, he's going to say it's great because he gave it to him." So. Yep. That ships back out to you Monday or to wherever. But thanks for sending that to me so I could get my hands on it and try it out. And like I said, as far as tone, and it's a double reed. That's what blows my mind. Like, the tones that you're getting out of it for a double reed are very, very impressive.
I appreciate it.
So that's my personal review.
I appreciate it. Now, I've had a lot of guys that, they refuse to put it in their hand or don't think it's going to sound very good. And I've sent out several calls over the years like, hey, I'm going to send this to you, no charge. Blow it. If you love it, buy it. If you don't, send it back. And I've never gotten one back. So.
Wow. I've never seen one for sale.
Well, probably because I'm not on a bunch of the call forums.
Yeah.
That's probably part of it. I mean, and you weren't on my Facebook page. Did I add you or did you add me?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, and it hasn't been that long ago.
Right.
So the chances of you seeing one of my calls were slim and none.
Right. Stupid McAfee. Okay, hold on. Everyone watching this is great. You try to get on something and this thing pops up every 20 minutes. So, no, but what was I going to say? Oh, I'm just trying to get to, there we go. Now we can look at your calls here. There they are. What do you like to do? Do you like acrylic? Do you like Deadshot Spartak? Beartooth? Do you like wood? Like, what's your go-to?
I really don't have a favorite. I wish I did. I do turn a lot of acrylic, but I am starting to venture away from acrylic and onto more exotic materials and woods. My as far as the amount of calls I'm going to put out is going to start dwindling down. I'm just going to spend more time on one call. You're going to start seeing a lot more custom one-off bands that are going on.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to be cheap, but that's just what I want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the hybrid woods. Where do you get those?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's like a curly burl green dyed wood.
You might be I'm not sure if you're looking at a duck call or a goose call.
It's a duck. I think it's a duck call. Hybrid.
Wherever I can find what I want. Yeah, and I don't have any specific supplier or place. If I see one, I grab it. I mean, there's a lot of people selling wood online or on Facebook, and it's just one of those where I go, dang, I got to have that.
Yeah.
So you just got to be lucky and hope you see it before somebody else does.
I think that's one of your goose calls here. No, that's a duck call. Yeah, and this is actually your design of call that's more traditional looking. Honestly, I think the ball call looks cooler.
I won't use any other insert than the ball. I started doing that other insert. I call it the NOS, which is new old school.
Mm-hmm.
And some people they go, I'd buy your call if it didn't have that insert on it. Like, okay, whatever. So I did something simple, and but people buy those. It's not what I would use.
Oh, the which one is that?
The NOS, yeah, I would only use the ball insert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. It looks
Yeah.
great. Yeah. The Venom looking green one, that's fantastic. What else? So your bands, let's talk about your bands for a second.
What do you think?
I keep looking at all these bands and they are
You're the coolest guy in the parking lot, and then this guy shows up.
jeweler. I mean, was that just a natural thing? Because I mean, you probably had made custom rings before, and you were just like, "Let's do this with a band."
Well, that's just it. I started making a lot of custom wedding bands that were, regular, like duck bands. And then it just kind of took off from there, and then it eventually just hit me one day as why am I not putting this on my call? So then I started making them for my calls.
Yeah. And what was it like when you sold your first band to someone else? Because I mean, I've sold a couple of my own jigs that I've made that I've moved on to other jigs. I've sold my old jigs. Man, that's a weird feeling of something that was like your design and now someone else is going to have it. What was that like? Was that weird?
Well, it's been so long ago. I could tell you, but I almost don't remember. I just know that when I first started doing them, I'm like, I'm not going to sell these to anybody. I was just going to put them on my calls, and then I had a lot of people say, dude, we really want to buy those. So then I started selling them, and then they just kind of took off. So they sell a call. Like if you go to a call show and you see that band on a call, it's grabbing your attention.
No, it's the most ergonomic call around. Those are great. That's what Joe Butcher said. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, Joe, the ball call, it's fantastic. What else was I gonna say? Let's talk about something bizarre that me and you probably spent an hour talking about. I mean, you're a jeweler, you make duck calls, you make bands, and then all of a sudden you're a barbecue connoisseur. Like, how long was that in the works?
Dude, I have been cooking for a long time. And I basically was a backyard barbecue guy, and I just kept trying to perfect it. I was never really happy with my barbecue until I bought a stick burner. So once I had 6-8 months into that underneath my belt, I was pretty much ready to go. So I know what good food is, and I just had to figure out how to get it to where I wanted it. And then I figured I got it there, everybody else would enjoy it. So that started the barbecue restaurant.
That's awesome. Have you ever worked with sumac as a dry rub?
No. Nope.
No? Have you ever messed with sumac at all?
Not at all.
Oh boy, it's the biggest kept secret of all time.
No.
Because everyone thinks it's poison sumac, but they don't think about the edible sumac. Yeah, it's
I've
good.
never even heard of it before, anybody using it. So, and like I said, it was a self-taught. So I just used whatever techniques and stuff that I figured out what worked. And you've seen pictures, and you've heard people tell you about it.
Oh yeah. I should have shown pictures. What was I thinking? I just had my mind on duck calls. No, that's awesome. What was I gonna say? What was your favorite to make? Like brisket? How long would you cook your brisket for?
I did brisket hot and fast. I could load up the smoker full of brisket and have them done 6 to 7 hours.
That's awesome.
And people go, you can't do that. And I'm like, I didn't have time to go, well, this brisket was done in 14 hours. So I didn't have 14 hours. So, yep, I just learned to do it hot and fast, and I would put that up against any slow cooked brisket in the world.
That's awesome. Yeah, that man brisket when it's done right, oh, So good.
No, it's hard to beat. Yep, it's hard to beat.
That's my go-to. Like, is
Yep.
so delicious. Yeah, it's everyone that's watching. Thanks for tuning in because right now the live is going wacky, but at least we're recording this. So if you have missed this, I will post the recording as soon as we're done here today. So yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh, but what? Oh man, I mean, how do you go from jeweler to duck call maker to like barbecue? I mean, do you switch from one to the other and then or go back, or are you a multitasker? Is it all three things have all? Because I mean, jeweler is your profession, right?
Yes. I've been a jeweler since '93.
Wow.
Yeah, I've worked on approximately 450,000 pieces of jewelry.
Wow. So whenever like Pawn Stars is on and the guy gets the little thing out and checks the diamonds, you just giggle because you know more about that stuff.
I try to not watch stuff like that at all. Yeah, and people might think it's weird. I watched 3 minutes of Duck Dynasty and I wanted my 3 minutes back.
That's funny. That's funny. What about Duckmen? You might as well have liked Duckmen, right? Actually, in the
Never seen it.
Really?
Never seen it.
Wow. That's funny. Yeah. That. I mean. Yeah. That's crazy. That is crazy. Man, I just spaced it. So I'm sorry. Over on my end,
you don't want me to just sit here and laugh at you, do you?
over on my end, I'm sorry, Donald. Over on my end, things are like crashing. Rome's on fire. People are screaming.
Of course.
We're all gonna die. I mean, only you I think Forrest Carvajal did this too.
Oh, great.
But yeah. So what's your personal call on your lanyard? Like what calls do you have on your lanyard?
I have a wood duck call that I make is on my lanyard. I have a goose call and a duck call. That's it. And I'll switch them out. They're probably a lot more than normal, for probably at least once a year. So.
Nice.
And I couldn't even tell you what I do with those calls. I just get set down in the shop and I pick up another one.
That's awesome. Yeah. My personal lanyard looks like a hobo's lanyard, man. Because my any calls that have like holes in them, or I'll just CA over them, and I'll go, that's my call. So,
there you go. So and if it works, it works. It doesn't have to be fancy. And that's the thing is literally you can be so minimalistic with this stuff and still be able to have a good hunt and have a good call. Like I said, I go to the other extreme just because of my jewelry background. And before that, I was a photographer.
Were you really?
Yeah, if you notice when you look at pictures of my stuff, it's not like everybody else's.
Wow. And you know, one thing that people don't think about is you've been doing this since 2003. So I mean, you were doing the turntable videos of the call so it spins. You've been doing
I don't know that I ever seen anybody do a turntable until I did. So, but I mean, who knows? There wasn't a whole lot of ability to find anything out back then. Facebook was just getting started, and it just wasn't available unless you knew somebody in the industry and worked with them. You weren't getting any new ideas.
Well, it seems like certain people get copied for a little while. Like Raggio, it was like his calls were standing out above everyone else's because of his photography background, and then all of a sudden everyone was doing pictures that looked like Raggio's. So it's just one of those things where...
You mean the picture of a call in your hand?
No, he did all types of cool looking
No,
stuff too.
that's what I seen him originally doing, and then everybody went to that, and I'm like, okay,
Oh, the call in the hand.
yeah,
Well, I mean, you can usually tell the difference between a call maker that just makes calls and a call maker with a photography background
yeah,
because they just pop. Like
yeah,
Raggio, Brad Eldridge. Like, Brad has, when he used to have his old shop, he would have like hanging old-fashioned looking lights above his lathe that looked old-timey, and he used filters, and it was like every picture should have been in a magazine. So, I mean, you can always tell the difference between a photographer, call maker, and just a call maker.
yeah. Well, when I first started doing pictures in my Lightroom, my reflection was in every ball. So everybody would give me crap about it that the genie was in the ball or the bottle or whatever. So I had to figure out a way to keep my image off of the call. So
Wow.
it didn't take me long to figure it out, but
Well, I'm sure that you have your own, as a jeweler, you have your own concoction of finish that you put on these calls, especially with acrylic.
oh yeah. I can guarantee you my technique is the only technique that's like that, as far as I know. I mean, I don't regurgitate everything I know to everybody, and I definitely have a style of polishing. And then you got to think that I polish so much jewelry that I've probably polished more than every call maker combined.
Oh, for sure. If you've been
I
doing
mean,
it since
so
then.
yeah, polishing is the most important part on jewelry because that's the finished product.
Right.
I just took that what I knew and how to do it over to calls, and I push it over the limit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my clear call, when I first did my clear call, everybody thought it was glass. They didn't even think it was acrylic.
Really?
Yeah, no, everybody that couldn't actually pick it up thought it was glass.
You know, the other thing I noticed is and I'm looking at it in the picture, your flat black coals look totally different.
Yeah. Well, as far as I know, I'm the originator of the flat calls. I think my first one was in 2009, I believe, and I had never seen one, never heard of one. But it wasn't one of those I perfected it right off the gate because I had a lot of trouble with my flats. But I'm a problem solver, so I had to figure it out. But now I got it to the point where my finish is flawless.
Yeah, when I'm looking at that flat, most flat is just flat. That actually has a sheen to it.
Yeah. Yep.
So, man, that's the one thing people don't realize and think about is as a call maker, you're trying to solve your own little problems that you have. You're everything is just, you're trying to answer your own problems and figure out how to do everything. If someone was to walk into your shop and then walk into my shop, they would look entirely differently.
Oh, I can guarantee you. Yeah, mine looks like an atomic bomb went off.
Oh, so you're an actual. So are you the type of call maker that where the drill? Don't move that pile.
Exactly. You got to see my jewelry workbench. There's a million parts on it, and I know where every part's at.
Don't move that pile of acrylic shavings because that's where that certain drill bit's under.
Yep, exactly.
It's got. I will get bad, and then it will drive me crazy, and I'm like, I gotta fix this. Like,
it's you go for so long, and then it's like, okay, I gotta clean up. So,
yeah,
but it's not high priority.
Not when you have a bunch of orders. I mean, when you look at the bench and you've got, I try to do like I'll if my bench has different color of woods like strata, I know it's time to like clean up, right?
Yeah.
Like you look at it and it looks like the Sedona Desert with like different colors of rock formations. It's like, I think it's time to get the shop back going.
Yeah. Oh, I know. There's probably guys that walk into my shop, they go into convulsions. But hey, it works for me.
Well, Logan from Iron and Oak, he's a great guy, but his shop, like it would bother me walking into a shop. Everything has its own spot. He's outlined
Spotless, yes.
it's all
Yeah.
everything's outlined with a
Yeah.
Sharpie. He has like little everything's labeled, everything like I
Yeah,
look
he'd
at
walk into my shop and pass out.
Yeah, same with mine. But lately I'm very proud. Mine has been very clean lately. I think it was 2 days ago. I was like, I got to take care of this.
Yeah.
This is like really bad. So,
Yeah.
no, but it's
Well, I've been throwing a lot more wood chips lately, so it's kind of weird. The stringy acrylic stuff is easy to pick up, but and that was one thing that when I introduced jewelry to the call making world. That is the stringiest crap on the planet. I mean, it's bird nests everywhere.
what is it?
Juma.
Oh, Juma. Yeah, is it that bad? I mean, does it make an absolute mess?
It's just stringy. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't chip apart very easily.
Have you oh, what's the what's that? They used to make it out. They used to cut bowling balls up to get it. Is it Fordite?
Yeah, that's car paint.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to think of what the bowling ball stuff is out of. Have you ever turned that?
I don't think that I have. I know what you're talking about. I couldn't tell you the name of it, but I know, and I actually have bowling balls that I've had sitting in the shop for years. I just never did anything with them.
Yeah. Everyone swears by those things, man. Like and I've heard them. I mean, they sound just like acrylic.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Have you messed with Delrin at all?
A little bit of Delrin, a long time ago. With the limited amount of colors, it didn't work for me.
Hey, there's Rusa. He said ebonite. Thank you, Ryan.
There you go.
Yeah. It's. I think if the call world needs you to do anything, I mean, I think you're the guy to crack the code on a finish on Delrin, because I don't think anyone on the planet can figure out how to finish Delrin.
Yeah, it just wasn't a fan. So, like I said, there's not very many colors, and I just don't do boring very well.
Yeah, well, that's the difference. I will happily turn a piece of black, boring, whatever. Like, I do not, like, the only thing, though, like, T-Bear blanks, Illumilite blanks, he was making some awesome combinations, and it was kind of getting me, that was the wildest I'll go, is, like, some of the, my favorite combo is yellow and black, so, I mean.
Right.
But as far as wood and stuff, I'm very boring guy.
Well, you've seen that latest material I was working with. Extremely expensive, and it's like a disco ball.
That's crazy.
So.
That's great. And
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're right.
No, but like, and that's the thing. Like, what because of how shiny they are and how great looking they are, and honest. Yeah, what percentage would you say of your calls become shelf queens? Because that's like a conversation we have behind closed doors, right? People are like, "Hey, what percentage of your calls do you think are shelf queens?" And
and here's my thing is I make them for show, but I want them to be hunted.
Right.
If you don't want to hunt them, put them on the shelf. I don't care.
Right.
I mean, that's what you want to do. I mean, I just don't make too many generic, I finished calls, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So if I do a CA finish, it's a show finish. If I do acrylic, it's show. But it can be backed up with the go on the other end.
Well, that's the thing, right? I mean, with acrylic, I mean, I think it was Paul Kaufman. one of his people that bought a call off of him dropped the call in like a river or a swamp, and then 2 years later, someone found it and found the owner. So I mean, acrylic is so, even though it's shined up and everything, you can drop it in water and leave it there for a couple of years before it starts having issues.
Yeah, it'd be a long time. Yeah, I don't think there's a decomposition on a acrylic. It's pretty durable.
Oh yeah, and that's why so many people have turned to it. I mean,
yeah,
it's got such. I mean, it can get hot, it can get cold.
Yeah.
You can, you get a wooden call, you put it in the cab of your truck in the middle of summer, and you're done if it's the right wood. I mean, it'll swell that wood.
That's the saving grace of stabilized wood. Yeah, that is literally one of the only. I hate when I turn a call and it's not stabilized wood.
I've yet to turn stabilized. Is it good?
It's just like turning acrylic, pretty much.
Really?
I mean, the call has been, basically you've turned it into plastic.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's. Yeah, that's awesome. But, man, we've talked about your jewelry years. We've talked about your duck call making. We've talked about your barbecue. I mean, did you ever? What was I going? You make goose calls as well, don't you?
Oh yeah. I've been making goose calls for a long time. As a matter of fact, my duck and goose call were the shortest on the market for a long time. My goose and duck calls are 4 inches tall.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, because, and man, to pull that off, you have to do certain things. Because for the exhaust of a goose call, you have to have a certain area, and every gut has its magic. I mean, you can't just design a goose call with one set of guts and then the guts get discontinued, like when Craft USA, the guy died of COVID, and then I only think there were 2 people on the planet that actually figured out how to make those guts work. I was one of them. But when he died, it's like, well, what am I putting in my goose calls now? Because you have to redesign everything, because that goose gut is designed for a certain amount of exhaust, and yeah. So when it's either too short or too long. It's such a careful game that you play with that.
Yeah, there was a time that I had a longer insert on my goose call, and I just couldn't get it to work the way I wanted to. So I finally got it whittled down, and like I said, a 4-inch goose call is short.
Yeah,
but it's very, very, very responsive and very loud.
Yeah, and getting that responsive without losing your bottom, man, that's a trick. That is such a trick to try to pull off.
No, and a lot of, I don't know, I've got quite a few goose calls out there, but it's got real low lows, and it will literally is ear splitting. So, I mean, it's kind of like the duck calls. I mean, they got a good bottom end, and there's a lot of times where I have to tune them for a specific person. Like I had a guy come out, and I guarantee you, we tuned a duck call for him for probably 40 minutes before he found something he liked. And he was just really particular about what he wanted it to sound like.
Man, I have sent people, when it comes to that, I have literally sent people to other call makers. Just because it's easier. Like if you're going to sit there and try to tune a call to one person, and then you get the guys that you send the call to them and they start hacking on your reads. And no matter how you try to explain it to them, you're like, hey, it's designed, that bore in a J-frame is designed for a certain area. Like when I bored that, it's slope versus bore versus exhaust. All that plays into it. And I had to figure out where exactly that read sounds good. So if you leave it long, it may sound the quack will sound good. you'll never get the top end with the hail. It will sound very monotone. You cut it too short, just a hair too short, and then it'll start squeaking and locking up.
Yep. Well, there's one of the things, and obviously it's a personal thing now between me and you, and I sent you my insert, and I knew that there was something that I didn't do to it, and I had you fix it.
Oh, I've never been so nervous.
And I told you, I said, if you screw it up, you're buying it. You know, and of course I was joking. I had no doubts that you could do it without screwing it up, but just that little tweak, which has taken me a long time to figure out, makes all the difference.
Yeah, and it educated me a little bit. Like I was just like, because I just, you told me that, and it just, because I haven't messed with a lot of J-frames, right? I'm a diehard Louisiana guy, Catahoula guy, Mel Reed guy. So when you were forced to show me that little secret, I was just like, are you kidding me right now? Because I can't tell you how.
I wasn't forced. I just wanted to make sure that you understood that I did something that I shouldn't have done. But then when I got it to you, I'm like, I'm glad you got to blow it that way, and then got to see the difference the other way. Because if I would have sent it to you like that, you wouldn't have known. You would have never known the difference.
Exactly.
So,
and when I blew on it and I told you, hey, it's doing this, like it's doing a certain thing when I try to do something on the call, you knew immediately. You knew immediately what was going on. And when a call maker says that and can walk me through how me as a call maker, how to fix it, that tells me right there that you have spent your homework and all your trial and error and spent all your time working on these calls, and you know every part of that call. You know, these guys that start with that just start making calls and they just come out with a brand new tone board, and you know, it's that mysterious, okay, it may have been a public jig, which is fine if you want to do that. But by doing that, if someone would have done that on a public jig and then sent it to me and I said, hey, it's doing this, they wouldn't have been able to tell me how to fix it.
Nope.
And you knew exactly.
And you are the only person that I have ever told that to. And I know that with 100% certainty, because I don't let my stuff out of the bag. I know that there's a lot of guys out there that they want to regurgitate everything and tell everybody. I mean, they literally want to stand there and handhold these guys all the way through duck call making process. If it was a personal thing, and I knew who you were local, knew you really loved duck calling, it'd be a different story. But a lot of these guys want to be the next Duck Dynasty because they watch the show. So, yeah, I just don't get into it.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, there was a gentleman that came out with a call out of the blue, and it's the best call since anything, and it's amazing. It's fantastic. Listen to the call, blah, 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 blah. And I invited him to come on the podcast and tell the story of how he developed the call, and he will not. He will not come on the podcast. And it's like, the reason you won't come on the podcast is because you don't know why that call is doing whatever it's doing.
Right.
And honestly, I listened to his call and I critique it. I'm like, man, if he just did this, it would sound so much better. Because, and so, you know, it's sad because they're wanting to start out on the top and just move sideways. Yes. And it's like, you don't learn anything if you do that.
Well, that's the problem with a whole lot of the call makers now. It's just they want to be at the top the first time they show the call. I mean, you're not. I don't know. It's just I'm old school. I'm old guy. I do it old school.
Well, you know, and it's also like when I talk to the older guys that were like in the 80s, the 90s, making calls, and Alvin Taylor and all these guys that were around. Before you were allowed to buy a jig from a certain jig maker, you had to prove yourself as a call maker. And, you know, Ryan Rusa, he's watching right now. I have a lot of respect for Ryan Rusa, and I mean, I sent I got the metal reed bug so bad I was chopping up soda cans and sending him pictures of soda cans, and he was.
I bet those sounded good.
Oh, they were horrible. I'm sure Ryan can attest that they were not very good. But you know, but that's been a two-year plus process of learning. Okay, why does it do this? Why does it do that? And poor Ryan, like me messaging him constantly, it's doing this, it's doing that, it's doing this, it's doing that.
Right.
And you know, it's you know, you have to at least take you can't just approach these guys and be like, show me this. You have to be like, okay, I'm willing to fail so many times and try to figure it out, and you can show me a little bit, you know. So it's, if someone shows the initiative of something, if someone's making a Louisiana call and it's not working, and I see that they're making firewood, I will go out of my way to help them. If I'm seeing that they are taking the initiative and they're like, I'm going to figure this out, then it's like, and there was a young man a couple months ago, he was trying and I was like, dude, he is like really a really good call maker, and he was wanting to do a Louisiana, and he was showing me soundboards and blah blah blah, and I was like, oh man, like I can sit here and watch him spend a whole nother month just working on stuff, or I can say, okay, make this longer, bore this out this way, backbore this, and it's like, I'll give you, I'm not going to like show you the whole recipe, but I'm going to hand you a couple of ingredients to help you get there. Yeah. So.
Yep. No, and there's times where that, you know, obviously being helpful to somebody that needs help is fine, but just too many people that want you to just hand them the recipe. I mean, here's the material, this is where you buy it. Here's the sandpaper, this is where you buy it. Here's the reed, that's where you buy it. I mean, it's just, I don't appreciate that.
Yeah, but the problem is people are too lazy. I'm sorry to just say it, but people are lazy. I did that how to make a duck call in 20 minutes, and it's with PVC pipe and shows how to make a Louisiana tone board. You watch part 1, there's 4 parts. You watch part 1, 400 views, part 2, 200 views, part 3, like 80 views, part 4 is like 20, 30 views maybe, and I think I've only talked to one guy that actually ended up making a call that way.
Yeah.
It's just people are, it's like, oh, this was too, you can literally do it in 20 minutes if you follow everything I say to do. And
you can make a lot faster than that. I watched a guy do it.
Yeah.
He drilled out a potato, stuck an echo insert and called it, and it was like, literally took 10 seconds to make a duck call. He was blowing it through a potato. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty quick.
Yeah, I would love to see the call maker competition someone enters that into. Yeah, that's funny. So Donald, thank you so much for calling in. Hey, Ryan Deering tuning in. Hey, what's going on? Let's do the last 3 questions. I end the show with 3 questions.
Okay.
So first of all, Donald, if anyone wants to get a hold of you, if any of you guys watching this, you're looking at this call and you're like, oh, I want that call, how can they get a hold of you?
Jump on Facebook, join, add real calls to your page, and then just direct message me.
Okay.
I did have a website. Website was compromised, and I had to take it down. And I am on the work on a new one, but it's not ready yet.
Nice. Well, Donald, are you ready for the last 3 questions?
I think so.
If you could go back in time and do a hunt all over again, what would it be?
Oh, shoot. I don't have a favorite. Probably maybe one up near Chicago. Mm-hmm. We were goose hunting up there, and it's just awesome up there during goose season. I thought it was a joke when somebody invited me up there, and I'm like, Chicago? Yeah, he said, yeah. And I got up there, and there was geese everywhere.
Wow.
I mean, Southern Illinois used to be the goose capital of the world,
Hmm.
but our migration has definitely went way west of us now.
Wow. That's cool. Second question: if you could be in a blind with three other people, heroes, family, friends,
Oh
living
shoot,
or deceased, who will
um,
be?
I missed an opportunity to hunt with Tim Grounds one time. I woke up and I could not find my hunting license. I literally couldn't find it. I was freaking out because I wanted to really hunt with Tim. And I called him. I said, "Hey, look," I said, "I can't find my license, and I'm not going to compromise everybody in the blind." So I didn't get to hunt with him, and that was my one and only chance. And my grandpa spent probably every weekend down Southern Illinois. He lived up in Champaign, Urbana, and he was down here all the time. Probably the biggest hunter I've ever seen. I have all of his old pictures with stringers of geese. So that was before limits.
Hmm.
So probably him, Tim. I can't put number three in the boat.
Okay. Okay. And the last question: if you could stand over the shoulder of any call maker of all time and watch him make a duck call, who would be?
That's a tough one. Any call maker.
Of all time, living or deceased?
Mm, I can't pick one out of the hat. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't put that one together. I don't have like idols, so to speak, so I don't really go towards that kind of a attitude, and which would
Uh-huh.
you'd have to for that, I think. But no, I can't put anybody. I can't name anybody. Sorry.
Do you follow any of like the old school have you ever read like the Illinois River book with all the old duck calls out of there?
No,
No.
no, I haven't.
It's
I've
fascinating.
seen some of the books. Yeah, I've seen some of the books, and I have looked into it a little bit. But just I don't know. I guess I just do my own thing. I
Yeah.
don't really get into a whole lot of other people's business.
Yeah. Maybe one of these days we'll get you on a middle read call. I don't know. We'll see.
I'd love to build one. Like I said, I think the first one I ever bought was Ryan Roos's, and I don't even know that I knew it was a metal call when he sold it to me. And I think that was 2014, 2015.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So it was I think it was one of his first calls because I think he was just getting started.
Wow.
But the call's phenomenal. It's just an absolute beautiful call. Caught my eye immediately.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, Donald, I'm going to here in a second. We can stay on the phone, and I'm just gonna have to go because the No Kings riots are happening tomorrow, and happens to be on my hometown.
Oh,
So,
great.
so yeah, I'm glad I don't have to. I'm not building a deck or anything, and I need bricks because I think they've all been bought up.
Well, hopefully you have ammo and guns.
Well, I'm just gonna stay away from the city, man.
There you
We'll
go.
see what
There you go.
ridiculousness happens tomorrow.
I'm glad I'm 4 hours or so away from Chicago.
Yeah,
So
yeah, you can keep Chicago. We don't want it.
yeah.
Are you
I'm
in
as
one of
far
the
away as you can get.
Are you in one of the counties that's trying to secede?
Yes.
Good for your county.
I would love for us to wake up one day and be an Indiana resident.
Um, yeah, especially since I could come over there and hunt them. I would love it.
Yeah, there you go.
And you can come over here and experience what real depression during duck season is.
Oh no, we
You
got
have
you beat over here.
no.
Yeah, we got you beat over here.
We can argue after the podcast, okay?
All right.
All right. So everyone, just stay on the line. Thanks again, Donald.
Gotcha. Good talking to you.
All right. So everyone, that was Donald P. Barden. If you can't get a chance, get a hold of him. Make sure to tune in next time to Rilo's Quack Chat. Oh, and again, this call that I've got, it's going back to Donald unless one of you guys want to snag it. So get a hold of him if you want to. So till next time, this is Riley Hendrickson with Rilo's Quack Chat.